Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I want to tell you all about my show, the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we do a thorough analysis on the biggest issues and trends within the pro wrestling industry. We talk a lot about pro wrestling media, we talk a lot about fan culture and wrestling's place within general pop culture, and we talk about the broader influences that are shaping the way we discuss and analyze the pro wrestling industry. We've had some of the brightest minds in the pro wrestling intelligentsia on the show, including WrestleNomics host Brandon Thurston, both Rich Craich and Joe Lanza from the Flagship Wrestling Podcast, Trevor Dame from the Through the Years podcast, and a whole lot more. This isn't a show for hot takes. It's not a show recapping the latest episode of television. This is a show focusing on the biggest topics in pro wrestling and doing a deep dive on the real stories behind the surface level analysis you might find elsewhere. The Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, and we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a try. Thanks.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Damon McDonald. It is Thursday, 26th of December. It's Boxing Day, Damon. This is episode 342. Happy holidays to everyone. How was your festivities, Damon?
Awesome as always. Awesome as always. It's weird that it's Boxing Day and we're doing a wrestling podcast or something. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to try and get through this as quick as we can so I can get back to my port and my cheese.
Oh, please, my bad. I definitely don't want to disturb your groove, if you will. Actually, I was in the midst of reading a book about a topic that has come up a few times here. Creation Records. It's a very big book. Lots of words. I don't know if I'm up for the task. But, yep, I was just in the middle of that. I was like, oh, I got a show to do. Hold on for a second here. So, yeah, we'll bang through this. Yes, happy holidays. It was good. Again, it was the old Maryland experience, and I get spoiled, and it's a wonderful time. It's a fucking John Hughes movie Christmas is what it is. It's unbelievable. My favorite day of the year, and it was great. So, yes, how about you? How are the kids? How did everybody make out? Santa good?
Yes, we're good. I've got my sister and her family down here, so it's very chaotic at the moment.
Oh.
So I've put my children to bed, but she has not put her children to bed. So I've got two. I've sort of shut myself in our what I would loosely call a conservatory. So I'm just watching all the mayhem through the glass doors.
Do they know you're doing
no part of it? Mally does, because she saw me with a microphone. I was just trying to sort of sneak off and do it on the quiet, but she saw me and she was like, "You're doing a podcast, really?" I was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it quickly. By the time you finish cleaning up everything from dinner, I'll be back out and ready to drink and eat cheese."
You're a maniac. I can't believe you are even doing it. You should have just texted me and been like, "Oh, can we reschedule?" We would have worked something out. But
well, because I wasn't exactly sure when we were doing it, because you said after Christmas. Like, I can't remember if we specified a day in the week, but this is as good a time as any.
Okay,
let's do it. I'm ready to talk about some New Japan Pro Wrestling. Right. I don't know if you got a chance, Damon. I'm going to do a quick plug for our Patreon content on the $10 tier. I was talking to Jeff Andrews from Voices of Wrestling, and a chart I'm loosely called. I'm not decided on the name. It's either going to be called Rage Bait or Home Truths. One of them is a bit more generous than the other.
Okay,
but Jeff took the conversation in some quite interesting avenues about his admittedly more pessimistic view on New Japan, but definitely gave us some interesting discussion points and some good debate there. Some stuff I agreed with him, and some stuff I sort of managed to win him round. So really, I think, insightful discussion there, coming at New Japan from a different angle, because I find in sort of the podcast spheres, when it's us or We Work Stiff or Keeping It Strong style, we all love New Japan. We want to like it. So I think we tend to be a bit of rose-tinted goggles sometimes. Sure. But I think the chat I had with Jeff, he was coming at it from a different angle, which I think sort of opened up some interesting discussions that I've not really heard elsewhere. So $10 tier, Patreon, get involved.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. At least it's a different voice. And I hate using that, but I'm going to use that anyway. Different voice to be heard. That's good stuff. All right, $10. Come on, that's not cheap. God damn. How many? I haven't done shit for it, by the way. But I will. I promise. Give me what else? What might a person who would decide to invest at least $5 receive, Joel?
Daily access for $5 tier.
Nice.
But I'm pushing the $10. I want maximum maximum money from people.
All right.
Because I don't usually. I think it's great value. I mean, I've already put a few things up there. I'm going to start putting up live links to the podcast. So we'll stream the recordings of the podcast. I'm not doing it today because I can't be bothered. Yeah. But I'm thinking about things like live reaction, instant reaction to Wrestle Kingdom.
I was thinking that, yes.
That's worth $10 for sure.
I would think.
And if you sign up for that, then you'll get both nights, won't you?
Yeah, why not? We'll do both nights. I won't get any fucking sleep, but yeah, what the hell? Let's do it. You want to do two? You want to do?
Well, at least one of us will be doing. I know, right? but there will be two shows. Not guaranteeing who's going to be on them, but yeah, you know what? Actually, maybe January 5th doesn't warrant
a live
reaction.
Yeah,
because it's a crap lineup, isn't it?
It's not for me.
We'll definitely do one for January 4th.
All right,
we'll see how January 5th goes.
Okay.
If it's amazing and we're both like, fuck it, yeah, let's do it. We want to do some instant reaction. But if it goes the way I think it's going to go, then we'll just be like, that can wait for the normal podcast.
All right, let's do it. You got my commitment. I'm in. And we're doing it live, right? So, okay. So,
yeah.
All right. I'll be sleepy, but that's all right. Oh, by the way, I am going to read you a text from me to you, just as an FYI.
Okay.
The exact wording was, later in the week, this is me, by the way. Let's do this was on Monday. Joel, are you free to do a show this week? And I respond back, later in the week, I will. Like day after Christmas, ? Today's the day after Christmas. I just want to say it is.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Right. No, you did say that. That just my brain filtered out any and all useful information because I had a fucking school inspection, Damon.
I know.
Absolute see you next Tuesdays from Ofsted. That you get 1 day's notice, or less than a day actually. And they decided to come the last week of term, where most schools are sort of winding down and just doing Christmassy shit. Yeah. But no, not for us. So, like the penultimate day of school, we've got fucking inspectors coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
Fuck that noise. That is bullshit. Well, trust me, I had people scheduling meetings on the Friday before the weekend, last weekend, and I was like, who in the fuck does this? Who does this? Like, literally, it could be an email. The meetings at this point because I got them down. So just what do you need? What information you need? It's at my fingertips. What do you need? I could do it in my sleep. It could be an email, but no, somebody had to decide. Yeah, I know, I get it. Trust me. All right, but yes, Christmas was wonderful. What was your favorite gift? What was the best gift you got?
So I got the favorite gift I received was a pair of socks with Mally's face all over them, which is just an all-time present.
It is.
I lost it when I saw this. But I enjoy giving gifts more than receiving. As cliche as that sounds, but just for my kids, right? When when you absolutely nail a gift for someone and you can see that they love it. And when you got little kids, like for a little 3-year-old boy, there's no pretending there. He's not going to be doing that out of politeness. If he thinks the gift shit, he's going to not say exactly that, but you'll know.
Yeah, he's on the next.
So I just. And it's not even like I spent a huge amount of money, just stuff that I saw and I thought he's going to love that. Like, for example, just a little toy steering wheel with these GPS buttons on it, just because he loves pretending that he's driving. Anytime he's in the car and we stop somewhere, he's climbing over and getting in the driver's seat and just pretending that he's driving. Nice. He loves that. So he's just been playing on that all day. The kid loves it. And then I'm just like, yeah, I'm such a good dad.
Love it. Love it. That's a home run. Way to go. You know what? I got a hoodie, like a sweatshirt. And the person that we go, her sister, goes out, obviously. And she gave out these gifts. So it's midnight, mind you, on the morning of Christmas. So Christmas Eve into Christmas. These are we eat, and now it's gift time, right? So I'm sleepy as fuck as it is right now, but I'm okay. We're doing good. She gives out, everybody gets this gift. She can't open it until everybody opens it. So first one, go around, everybody opens. So it was, most of the people got pictures of, T-shirts or sweatshirts or hoodies or whatever with a picture of her on it, which I thought was preposterous. But the one I received was a picture of Cheryl on it, and it was a picture that she got dressed up to do there was this 80s tribute cover band kind of thing. So she got dressed up, in her quote unquote 80s gear. And it's the goofiest picture on God's green earth, and I giggle at it every time. And now it is on a fucking hoodie, and I popped. I just loved it. I swear to God, I just thought it was the most ridiculously preposterous thing to have a gigantic picture of my wife dressed in 80s garb.
So we both received quite similar gifts there. What is it about receiving a novelty item of clothing with your spouse's face on it that just really tickles me?
I don't know. I do.
It's an extremely good gift.
Yes.
So the listeners out there, if you're struggling with what to get for your better half for their birthday or Christmas, I know Christmas is gone, but for birthdays, just a pair of socks or pants or a t-shirt with your face on it, your own face. Yes. The stupider the better. Then that is the best gift you could ever give a person.
I swear. It really, and I got a ton of cool shit. I got a bass guitar, dude. I got a fucking bass guitar and an amp. I swear to God. I got a bass.
So that could be some Patreon content. You could do some
tutorials,
some sessions.
Live sessions. All right, I'm going to hit one note. All right, we're done. Congratulations, everybody. But I was kind of chirping about it for a while, and I was like, I kind of want to get. I guess it was my ADHD obsession of the fucking month. Remember the drum set? Okay, I got the whole rhythm section now. And yeah, I was like, holy shit. And it's awesome. Like it's one that I wanted. And it was one that it's a good starter one, but it's not like a cheapy starter one. Like it was like, I was blown away. I was like, I couldn't believe it was sitting there. So, but yeah, I got cool books. I got I don't know. I got all kinds of stuff, man. I at one point I was like, why am I getting all this stuff? It just seemed completely ridiculous to me at one point. But yeah, it was awesome. Really, I don't know, man. I love it. As a person who growing up, I didn't really have great Christmases. I didn't have any fucking Christmases many years. It would be a pair of jeans with tinsel thrown on top of it. I swear to God. So I do get spoiled around Christmas, but I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad you had a good time, and you have guests. All right, let's talk pro wrestling because we're 11 minutes in, and I know you want your G's.
Right, so we did not get a chance to talk about Strong Style Evolved from the Water Pyramid. I don't think anyone really gives a shit at this point. But what were your headlines coming out of that show? Did anything really sort of stand out to you?
This is the Monet main event, right? That's how much I...
Yes, so that was the main event. It was Monet defeating Hazuki.
Was there people going crazy, thinking this was the greatest match they've ever seen in their entire lives?
It went, yeah. A lot of people were extremely high on it. I liked it. I thought it was almost a bit excessive with all the near falls.
Yep.
But I mean, my sort of headline coming out of that was that wrestlers have their best matches in New Japan.
I was like, first, again, if we're going to talk about it, it didn't look the crowd was anything special. And it was just, I don't know, this was just U.S. indie show to me. And while the match I thought the match was good. I did. But I didn't think it was like I didn't turn it off and was like, oh, I'm out of breath. I was just like, okay, all right. It was good. But then I'm looking online and I'm like, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dave was just fucking had his pants down, and I'm like, did I watch the same fucking match? What am I missing here? This is the same. This is the same take from a guy who got excited about a hoodie with a picture of my. so maybe it wasn't for me, but yeah, I was just like, wow.
With that meme of the guy with his arm around his girlfriend, and the girlfriend is like, amazing matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we're looking over our shoulder, eyeing up novelty gift items with pictures of our wife's face.
There you go. That's it. It's just I don't know. I know people want to like her matches. I'm speaking of Monet more than they actually are, right? I feel like it's a thing where you have to be completely excited by it and blown away by everything she does. If not, you're not worthy of your emoji on your Twitter handle. Like,
I'll tell you what I think it is. It could be that everything she's done in AEW has been so shit that a quite good match in New Japan, people are like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Just because
you might be right.
Comparatively, it looks great.
You might be right. You might be right. And I know she's had some injuries that she's been fighting throughout the year. And again, I was fine with the match. I didn't think it was anything where we would be talking about, just I need to watch that again or Notebook or whatever the fuck positive praise you want to throw. I thought it was fine, but I did not I was more blown away by other people's reactions, and then me thinking, well, did I watch this right? Was I in the right frame of mind? Was I like? And I felt like I was. I thought everything was like, all right, fine. But the rest of the show was just like it was. Once again, as we talked about before, it was. I'm really beginning to loathe New Japan shows in the United States. I'm just like everything about it just starts to grate on me a little bit, and I went out of my way, and I didn't watch the whole show in one sitting, right? So don't sit there and say, "Well, you were in a bad mood and you fucking judge that match because you're a negative Ned." No, I watched it separately, so I don't know.
Were you in a bad mood when you watched both?
Yeah, probably, I guess.
Chunks of it.
I mean, the probability is pretty high, knowing me. I was probably miserable about something fucking like some minor inconvenience that totally ruined my day. But like I said, I don't. Sometimes I feel like I'm the furthest thing from what a pro wrestling fan in their 20s and 30s are. Like I'm just the furthest thing from it, and I'm probably in age too. But it just feels like there's just like this. I just don't get it. And here's the thing too. I know people are gonna. Can I just ask you? And maybe you just don't even care, and you just hand wave it, and it's whatever. What do you think about the post match bullshit?
Post match? What after the main event?
A little too much dancing, I think.
Yeah. It's not for me. I don't like it that much.
Yeah, I just like what am I watching here? Well, what's going on here?
Damon, I turned it off after this.
You didn't watch the whole thing? It was such a moment. Everyone having fun and smiling. Oh.
I'm assuming this is what Mina Shirakawa came out and they did shit dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I was like, well, all right, here we are. This is what we've become. Now I gotta fucking rate dancing. I'm like, I don't know. Are they doing the Macarena? I have no idea.
I need to go back and watch this now. Full critical. I'll drop that on the Patreon.
All right, there you go. Live reaction to the dancing. We'll judge it. We'll have scores. It'll be like Dancing with the Stars, except even more awful.
I thought this was one of the better US shows, and I think the number's not bad. What is it, 2,500? That's, I say, a relatively healthy number. Yeah, 2,435 people. That's okay. I mean, just the matches. There's not really that much to say about a lot of them. There was just sort of scrolling through which ones are worthy of discussion. Gabe Kidd defeating Oiwa. That was all right. I mean, it sort of lost its way a bit when Gabe kind of got distracted by hurling insults at someone in the crowd, and we had ref bumps and stuff like that. There is a better version of this match that I think both men are capable of, and this wasn't it. I enjoyed seeing Leo Rush versus Hechicero. I thought that was really good. And the four-way with the juniors who are involved in the tag match, I really particularly like the finish to that, where TJP got the crucifix pin, and he did it right in front of, I think it was Fujita, and was just sort of giving him that death stare, just glaring right at him as he was pinning. I can't even. I think he pinned Kushida whilst Fujita had. I think he had Clark Connors in a submission hold, but it was just really well executed. I like the drama of it with them just sort of locking eyes as TJP got the pin. So that was really good. And I think the main thing I would take away from this is that we had a couple of these long-term strong storylines paying off. We had West Coast Wrecking Crew finally winning the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship, and you could see how much that meant to them. And Matt Vandergriff also losing in the Strong Survivor match, and he's losing upwards because I think he's teaming up with Fred Rosser, if I'm not mistaken, for the next US show. So he has someone on the Discord put he's escaped containment. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the West Coast Wrecking Crew to win. So that was sort of a nice little moment. And you could see that it meant something to them. And I was like, oh, good for them. They've become a bit of a punchline, but they work hard, and they work really hard in this one. I'm still unconvinced by Grizzled Young Veterans. They wrestle like it's a sort of top of the second hour match on Monday Night Raw. Like they're wrestling as if there were advert breaks in the middle of their matches. Right. So I'm hand waving them. Okay. But yeah, West Coast Wrecking Crew, good for them. Well done. They're happy with the strong tag team titles. At least someone is.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I always say it's usually the team that makes the belts, not the belts make the team. But in this case, I think it's a mutual kind of lifting, right? I think just having new, fresh faces holding a title on Strong is, I'm going to say it's good, but then there is something to be said about having a champion with some longevity and giving it like just, going for the long run. But in a promotion like that, I don't know. Like sometimes I just think like it's good to have fresh people on top. It did take them a while, and it did seem like a lot of it was genuine in the sense of their, the passion that they had for winning. But yeah, I like the I'll call it the junior split up 4-way, the junior tag split up 4-way. I like that. What else did I like? There was another match that I thought was pretty decent. You mentioned Leo Rush. I thought that was good. Oh, what other match was it? I forget. But yeah, I mean, but you're right in the sense that I think, and that's maybe a problem that I have on these US shows as well, is that you can almost always say that X versus Y, they probably have a better match in them somewhere down the line. And that might just be, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm here and we're just going to, I'm double parked outside. So we're just going to make this short and sweet. Or it's like, it could be many different things. But rarely do I ever leave, like, at least in like the past 3 or 4 years, have I left like a US show and been like, what the fuck? That was great, blah, blah, blah. It was, okay, that was a good wrestling show. And, at best. And I felt that way too. So, I mean, as much as it might not seem like I'm paying the show itself a compliment, I thought it was a good show. But again, all the complaints that I have about it not feeling like a New Japan show, maybe this one a little bit less of that, but, it's still these US shows that kind of feel like glorified indie shows. And, and all the struggles that they have of having it feel like a New Japan show. Those are
they feel more like sort of pre-AEW ROH shows than New Japan shows.
And they've always had that element of that, right? Trust me, even, back when New Japan was, we'll call it on fire, and, they were running 2300 and they were running, maybe even like Hammerstein or, and having Ring of Honor's involvement. But also look at that Ring of Honor roster. Those are some pretty stacked rosters too, if we're being honest. So it was like the best of both worlds. So you weren't that upset when it was like, hodgepodge New Japan tag team against, ROH tag team. You rarely got that singles New Japan match that people were kind of always pining for. And the closest thing you would get is like guys who worked Ring of Honor, that might do a tour or two going against New Japan guys, like a Naito versus fucking, Michael Elgin, or, Roderick Strong versus Shinsuke or whatever. You get my point. But those shows seemed even better. But again, you're talking about the talent between those two rosters. But again, it's always been a struggle with New Japan in the US, not quite finding its mark and always needing that extra element, and that which kind of waters down the show itself. So it's the same things we've been saying for years, but it just seems like, at times it gets worse and worse. And hopefully one day we'll turn the corner and have a cohesive New Japan Pro Wrestling show. That'd be awesome.
We'll move on to talking about the pair of Korakuen shows that took place on the 22nd and 23rd of December. So we're not going to go match by match. I'll just sort of cherry pick some of the more notable events that came out of it. The first being the reappearance of El Phantasmo, who has kicked cancer in the dick and balls. Fantastic. And everyone seems just genuinely delighted to see him back. Even the sort of more hardened ELP critics couldn't help but, I think, feel some of that sort of festive goodwill and happy to see him back. And dare I say, his inclusion in making that TV title 3-way or 4-way has made it better. I don't know. It's increased my intrigue for it, at least. So I think there's a lot of interesting directions they could go with this, but just really happy to see El Phantasmo back.
Yeah, me too. I mean, how can you not, right? I mean, that was a little bit of a surprise, I think, for everyone. And, the fact that he's in seemingly good health and, at least enough to get in a fucking pro wrestling ring. That's good news. That's awesome news. And again, it's, I don't know, call it the holiday spirit, call it whatever you want. But it was a nice little cherry on top and a nice little feel-good moment. Now, the 4-way, is that going to make it better? It might, yeah. But I just think him being involved in the match, no matter what you think of the other 3, just having him involved in the match, look, put away your pro wrestling hard hat for a moment and just be like, okay, this is pretty cool. The guy went through a rough fucking patch there, health-wise, and to see him able to, at the very least, walk down the ramp and get into the ring. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Look, I'm not, and here's the thing too. Anything that he adds, and I might be looking at this through rose-colored glasses, Joel, but I feel like anything he does is just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? If he pops out 2 or 3 spots that are whoa, all right, I'm happy. He doesn't have to do shit-ola. You know what I mean? And conserve your energy, hit 2 or 3 spots, and yes, that'll make the match better. It really will. You mean it? Like I said, you mean to tell me the minute there isn't a 3-way schmazola outside the ring, and he's in the middle of the ring, and he's kind of looking around, and what's next, and people are going to be pumped. People are going to be they're going to rip the roof off the joint. Right? Anybody who's not just a fucking cold, black, heartless cunt, you'll find some joy in that. So take that. And anything that he can deliver is icing on a cake that should be good anyway. So you're right. It might absolutely make a 3-way elevate it by making it a 4-way, which I never thought the words would come out of my mouth.
We're going to skip ahead now to the main event of this show, which was the KOPW match, where Great-O-Khan and Taichi went to a double knockout after 23 minutes. I love Great-O-Khan. And I love Taichi, and I've genuinely enjoyed the KOPW stuff in recent years, but I just found this incredibly boring. I just could not connect with this at all. I don't know if it was frame of mind or was not giving it the attention it needed, but yeah, I hated this. It's rubbish.
It wasn't great. And what made it worse was that it is 2 guys that I want better things for, and it's you gave him a little bit of a spotlight, and I was like, And again, it's KOPW. Nobody's staying up late at night. But what the problem is with that is that when you have guys associated, in that tier, and then you have a match like that really isn't much to write home about, and then it goes 20 some odd minutes, and it was just look, you're not for nothing, as I like to say, not for nothing. This was all Okada's idea. Right, let us not forget. This was all that Benedict Arnold, that traitor, the guy who went for the blank check. This is all his fault. He's gone. We can end it, right?
Is that the worst thing he's done to New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Without question. Can you think of another thing that was worse than that? I can't.
I like Great-O-Khan's getting his final revenge over Okada because he's ending KOPW, or has at least suggested KOPW finish. So he said in the Tokyo Dome, the Rambo, instead of being a KOPW Rambo, it will be a Rambo to determine the number 1 contender to the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And he declared himself the last KOPW champion. So it looks like the title's being retired. And now the Rambo, some pretty high fucking stakes.
Is that official?
So win-win. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see any official word on that. So that, I mean, again, this is New Japan, where people just make up the rules as they go along, and no, always reminds me. You know that. I mean, I don't know if you've seen a lot of these.
Right, so it is official. The fact that Rambo being for the IWGP World Heavyweight #1 contenders, that is official.
Okay, no, that means yes. Then that definitely okay. The stakes elevated a 1,000,000,000%. It reminds me, there was a scene in The American Office, it's like Michael Scott, just a buffoon. And it was like, I declare bankruptcy. Bankruptcy! Bankruptcy, I declare. And anybody can declare any rules and any title opportunities. But
that's how New Japan works. You just say whatever the fuck you want,
right.
And the IWGP committee are like, well, they've said it, so we've got to go along with it.
Right. There's no consideration otherwise. I mean, if you say it, it happens. So I didn't know that was official. So good. That's all right. So now, okay, I'm going to have to ask now. Who's not on the main show that's going to be in this Rumble that would be suitable as a #1 contender?
Great-O-Khan?
Taichi?
Sanada? Not Sanada. Goto?
Yeah, Hiroki Goto.
Could be anyone. It could be one of the guys who's wrestling at Wrestle Dynasty. It could be fucking Jack Perry slithering in as the.
Wow.
Could be anyone.
It might be me. I declare myself the #1 contender.
Chris Charlton just going rogue.
Right, he's gonna form his own shoot promotion to rival.
Just sitting in a tight inside cradle.
Yes, he calls it the power of the pen. Yeah, huh? You like that one? He calls that one medium.com. Oh, we're silly gooses today. It does now. Okay, now we got a Rumble that's interesting. I mean, it's always fun. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves the idea of who's next, who's coming out. What 90s legend's gonna fucking hobble their way to the ring. But this does make it a little bit more, not a little bit more interesting, Joel. I think it makes it a ton more interesting. So, I'm trying to think. Okay, let's just play fantasy book, and let's just say Shota Yumino Umi wins. Is there somebody that we're forgetting that he may have beaten in like G1 or something like that? That would also be able to lay claim to a challenge as well. Like, so that person might win that Rumble and be like, okay, I'm the #1 and I beat you. Or do you think how about this?
Well, not a G1 entrant, but how about one Jonathan Moxley?
I swear you read my mind. God damn.
But no, that would be like if they have him booked for either of those Tokyo Dome shows and have not announced it, then that would be mental.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate then. Do you think Jon Moxley, if they announced him to be doing anything on this show, is moving tickets, is making, and it is maybe from a buy perspective, for people at home, but they have him win that fucking thing, and now we know he's challenging, and we know that might be fun. That might be pretty interesting. I mean, again, the likelihood of it happening is probably slim and none just fucking running out the door. But that's pretty. It might be. I mean, that's a hell of a way to kick off a fucking show. But it'll be fucking. It'll be like, something silly like
Chase Owens,
Taguchi or something like that. Chase Owens. All right, very good. All right, so Rumble's good. What else we got?
Any tears shed over the ending of KOPW, or just good move all around?
Zero. I mean, it's the title that I think the majority of New Japan fans have the least interest in. It just lends itself to just nonsense and shit that just you wind up just like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, And it's also a thing where it's like they don't give a shit. Why do I give a shit? Kind of thing. Nah, I mean, if in fact that is true and we're done, which okay, and if the Rumble is it, then there is no champion because you technically you have to vacate it at the end of. Then, I'm happy. I'm good. R.I.P. R.I.P. KOPW. I love it. Get the tombstone.
And so going into the second night, then what do we have here? So Hartley Jackson, Jeff Cobb, they had a beefy people match. Jeff Cobb took some big bumps for Hartley Jackson. You could just tell by the way they wrestled that Hartley Jackson is a guy that I think is well respected. I think a lot of people look up to him. How about this one? So after a pair of matches that were called off for people being naughty, the IWGP Junior Tag Team 4-way match is now what did Kushida call it? Chairs, ladders, and desks match.
Desks.
It's a Tokyo Terror ladder match. I know a lot has been said about the fact that this match is a 4-way to start with, and people complaining about desecrating the sanctity of the Super Junior Tag League. But I'm sorry, my lizard brain is overruling all of that. I'm thinking, ladder match, fuck yeah!
Yup. Yeah. Like I saw that, and obviously heard that announcement of desk. I was hoping they'd throw in an ottoman, maybe tables, ladders, and comfortable couches. At first, I did sort of hand wave that. I have to be honest. I was like, oh, really?
But you look at the guys involved. There's so many hungry young guys there that are going to be hell bent on just stealing the show. It's the opening match, Damon. The opening match that they're going to go out there and do some fucking nutty shit and endanger their own health and each other's health, and it's going to rule. It's going to be amazing.
Yep.
If it was like we've seen ladder matches announced where fucking like Tangela and Taichi over the iron fingers or whoever it was. That's the sort of thing I think. No thanks. But with these 8 guys, then there's a real chance of magic there. Like it's quite similar circumstances to the SummerSlam, the triangle or wrestling. I forget which WWF show it was, but the triangle ladder match that started this whole TLC craze, where you had those 3 teams like the Dudleys, the Hardys, and the Christians in a not dissimilar spot to a lot of these guys in this junior tag match, who have got a big opportunity there with a lot of eyeballs on them and are going to want to make a name for themselves. So I can't wait for this, Damon. It's going to be great. And also RIP to the women's match, which comes after that, because they're going to probably have about 3 minutes to do their match now.
In between splinters of table in the ring.
It's like blood splattered all over the camera.
Mess. Like, it's just a work hazard at that point. You're right. And that's kind of what my thought process was. It was more of, all right, well, what's the purpose of this? Every year they open. There's a reason why every year they open with the junior tag, right? There's a reason. And it's let's go balls to the wall. Let's give them an unbelievable 10 to 12 minute match that'll have people, pumped and ready to go. People are excited. The lights dim, the music comes on, and we're ready to rock and roll, right? So what better ways than the junior tag? And now we're gonna let's press turbo, right? Let's whatever, put the fucking nitrous in the car, whatever the fuck it is, whatever speed analogy you want. Let's do it. Let's go. So yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that there's I don't feel this idea of this. The sanctity of the junior tag titles. I mean, yes, it's been around for a while, but come on, get off your high horse. I'm down. Again, the idea of this match always and forever will be: let's get the people, invested. Let's get the people rocking. And what better way to do this? And let's add a little bit of spice. Let's add a little bit more heat. Let's do it.
It depends who's doing the sort of inserting themselves into the matches, doesn't it? Because if it was some outsider team, like an AEW tag team saying, we're going to be in the match as well, then we'd call bullshit. But the fact, I think all 4 of these teams have proven their value to the division over the last year or so. I think there's more goodwill there to sort of turn a blind eye to the way that happened and just be like, yeah, all 8 of these men deserve to be there. And now with this stipulation in place, it's going to be a bloodbath, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, and the likelihood of people talking and sharing online. Don't tell anybody from New Japan that, or we don't want any takedowns. But you get my point. Like if it's crazy and just and here's the thing too. Like if you told me like, oh, some AEW clown tag team was getting involved in this, yeah, I'm sure our eyes would be rolling. I trust every team there to make this great. I really do. I don't know why. I just have this sense of, all right, they're gonna do crazy shit, and it's going to be great. It's not.
Who do you think is going to take the nutty bump?
I'm going to go Kevin Knight.
Yeah, I was going to say him as well.
I'm going to go Kevin Knight. Has Kevin Knight ever been on a Dome show?
That's a good question.
I don't think he has. No,
yeah,
wait a minute.
Right.
Did Kushida and him defend? Didn't they lose the titles there? Or am I thinking of another show?
Right. What was last year? What was it Wrestle Kingdom? What was the last one? Was it 18? The last one we watched?
Yeah.
I get the numbers all jumbled up in my head. Right. So, so the junior tag match for 2024's Wrestle Kingdom was TJP and Accurate against Driller and Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go back to Wrestle Kingdom 17, it was Catch 2-2 against Leo Rush and Yo.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think Kevin Knight has.
So there you go.
Wrestled at the Dome.
You don't think he's excited? He's got a little chip on his shoulder, taking that long walk down the ramp. I bet he does.
Oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
I think it's going to be. I honestly, it's very. I'm sure many people were like, I can't wait to hear them shit on this. No, it's just the opposite. If it's going to happen, and you're right, how many fucking dumb stipulation matches do we see with guys that, quite honestly, the last people I want to see in a match like that? These guys, I think they'll be great. I really, truly believe that this is, you couldn't ask for a better opening match that will knock your socks off and get you pumped up for a 4-hour ride. I'm down. Let's go.
Okay, so the next thing I would like to talk to you about is Evil Tanahashi, because during this show, Evil got a big pair of scissors out and chopped off a significant chunk of Hiroshi Tanahashi's hair.
Yes.
So I don't think this is official yet. I will have to check, but it stands to reason that there may be some sort of career versus hair stipulation.
Nice.
Like that would make sense, wouldn't it? If people are sort of chopping off each other's hair, I think we're going to see a bald-headed geek at the end of this Tokyo Dome show, and I think it's going to be Evil.
Bald Tony, Paul Jones is a bald. Oh, such memory.
How are you feeling? I feel this feud. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, it's House of Torture. I feel it's got some decent heat at this point. I think they've done quite a good job building it.
I mean, you have the ultimate good versus the ultimate bad, and throw in some steps, and throw in the fact that it's Hiroshi Tanahashi, who, again, the miracle that is the Tokyo Dome, and he'll have his working shoes on, and he'll get through it. And as much as Evil,
I know. I was going to say, this is a big thing for Evil, isn't it? A big show of faith. This is Tanahashi's penultimate Wrestle Kingdom match.
Right? Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, and not for nothing, I'll say, as much as we dislike the idea of House of Torture and the matches and the chicanery and bullshittiness, like, this is where you want it. Like, it couldn't land in a better spot against a guy who is what is more appropriate than Evil versus Tanahashi. I think this will be fantastic. I really do. And let it be known that I don't think anybody thinks Evil is a terrible worker or is a person that can't go at least at a very good pace, right? And you have a legend in the ring that will probably has his wheels spinning in his mind of how this match can go. No, here's the thing: are we going to see bullshit? Probably, right? Probably, but that will make it better. It really will. I know it's crazy to say, and it goes against the grain of a lot of what we talk about. But I think this has the makings of one of those matches where the fans are going to be so vocal and into it that the fans might make the match, even more than what's going on in the ring. And I don't think it's going to be crazy what's going on in the ring. But I think everything will matter, and I think everything will have purpose, and I think the fans are going to be just like eating it up. And until they prove me otherwise, I think this match has all the makings of something pretty great. And if we're going to throw in a bald-headed geek stip, I'm okay. It's the beginning of the show. I'm waking up out of bed here. Come on. I got a couple Red Bulls in me. I got more caffeine than fucking, I don't know, somebody who drinks a lot of caffeine. Yeah. I want this first two matches. I'm totally fucking down so far.
Main event was Tomohiro Ishii and Shota Umino defeating Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. 26 minutes. What a match, Damon.
Yeah, it was good.
This is fucking great. I love this. And there's a bit of an injury scare for Shota Umino, but you wouldn't have been able to tell from this. And this match getting a lot of mainstream buzz. A lot of people talking about this and praising this one, and a lot of people who have been critical about Shota Umino saying, you know what, in this match he showed something here. And I mean, I did see some rather ungenerous analyses of the match saying that Umino was the least over person in the match, which I think you'd have to do a lot of squint to see it, looking at that in order to reach that conclusion. And I think that's kind of bearing the lead here, which to me, headline coming out of this match, I'm looking at Shota Umino, I'm seeing a guy who he's fucking ready for that Tokyo Dome main event. He's oozing confidence, he's fired up, he's in fantastic shape. It just looks like a guy who understands the assignment. He knows what he has to do. And, win, lose, or draw, like whatever happens, the actual outcome of the match to me is not important. But that's a guy who has been given this massive responsibility and has just taken it on and is just busting his nuts to make the best of it. And not just in this match, but just the whole build-up. As soon as he's been put in this spot, he's done everything that you'd want from a guy put in that spot. He was just putting a hell of a shift in World Tag League, even though he's paired up with fucking Honma, with a team that's going to go nowhere. He still went out there every night to do his best and build up that main event in the interactions he had with Zack and show that he is capable, or at least staking his claim to be the guy to take the company into the next generation. Because it's not just, that role is not just about having the 5-star bangers in the big matches throughout the year. There's more to it than that. It's about doing things like going out in World Tag League and night in, night out, making sure you're delivering and being able to take on that responsibility. So to me, I just watched this and it just filled me with excitement for that main event, because just the interactions between them were great. They set some table for sort of future stuff between Oiwa and Umino, because Oiwa looked fantastic in this match as well. Like the striking sequences between Zack and Ishii were incredible. There was just so much to like about this match and so much to be excited about going forward. So what did you think of the match and how are you feeling about Shota?
Yeah. Let's start with the positives. I think the build and the run up to this particular Corkin show, and now with the little break that we have and getting ready for the biggest show of the year, it does put me in a better spot with him being, at the very least, not only positioned, but him showing improvement from where he was maybe G1 season and before. I'm going to concede that point. Is he the guy? Let's put it this way. Do I have confidence that come, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he's standing in the middle of the ring, and he does not look like he has a deer in headlights look, and he looks like he belongs, and he's carrying himself as the top guy, and all these things that, quite frankly, is easier said than done. But will it come? Will all the connective tissue form a muscle? Will this work? I don't know, Joel. And whereas maybe before I would sit here and tell you flat out, nope, I'm not feeling it. I don't have any confidence. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think the kid's ready. I'm not for this yet. That has waned. That has I've definitely thawed out a bit on that. Do I still think that I want to look again, I want this to be great. Of course. I would want nothing more than for this to be amazing and for this kid to be able to take advantage of this, win, lose, or draw, to be able to take advantage of this and make himself a star and the company's future on his shoulders. Am I 100% confident in that? I'm not. Am I more confident? I am. But here's the problem. Until the slap of the 3 count, we're not going to know. And I think that is what I'm most concerned with, in the sense of no matter what the buildup for Tanahashi and Omega, no matter what the buildup for Tanahashi and Okada, no matter what the buildup for Naito and whomever, no matter what the buildup of Ibushi and whomever, Jay White and who else, in the multi-man, whatever. At the end of the day, I was confident in the people that were on top to deliver, right? I never had a waver or a thought in my mind of these 2 clowns couldn't fucking get their way out of a wet paper bag. Never. Did I not like the buildup? Of course. Did I not like other aspects and things? But when it all came down to it, 2 guys in the ring, main event, Wrestle Kingdom, Tokyo Dome, I didn't have the feeling of, I don't know. Never. And if I'm being honest, I do. I have that now. And while again, I'm encouraged by what I saw leading up to Wrestle Kingdom. Am I still 100% certain and confident? I'm not. And I think that, like, unfortunately, what this has done in my mind is even raise the stakes higher, Joel. It's raised the stakes higher in my mind now. Because if I went into this thinking, okay, well, he doesn't fucking have it, and there's been nothing that has given me any indicator that it has, then I'm going into the main event maybe with a little less expectation of, okay, I mean, it's not this year, he'll lose or whatever the case may be. Maybe it'll be a great match, but it just won't be it. But now I have this feeling of, okay, well, we're close. Is this it? And unfortunately, it's all about the final exam. It's all about this test in my mind, which is really unfair, to be truthful. But that's where I'm at. Like this now, it's like, okay, all the practice, all the rehearsals, all the test runs, everything has built to this moment. And is that an enormous amount of pressure I'm putting on the kid? Yes, it is, no doubt, and it's wrong. I agree. That's where I'm at. Okay, everything is all well and good. How did you do in your final exam? And that's going to be at 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern time that we'll have a conversation and say, he hit a fucking home run, or it was close, but he's got work to do, or, well, we shit the bed there and let's rip up that page in the booking notebook and start over. That's where we are. And that's how important I think this main event is. Like, and which is exciting, is also a little stressful and a little like, I don't know what fucking rabbit hole we're getting into now. This is that important to me. And I think to a lot of people, and I think the company, and I think if you don't at least partially recognize that, then I don't know, we're missing the boat somewhere. But this is one of the more important New Japan Pro Wrestling main events in a long fucking time. We've talked about this for years. We've talked about this, and now here's the final exam. Here's the stage performance. Here's the concert. Here's everything that you've worked for. Right now is this match. That's a lot of pressure, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm doubling down on my continuing take that I think he's going to knock it out of the park. And I think a lot of people are going to be eating crow, yourself included, David.
I hope so.
You're going to have to apologise to Shota Umino for doubting him when we do our instant reaction, which you can get for $10 on the Patreon. Damon, I don't know if you've been watching any of the interviews that have popped up in around sort of New Japan. It's on their YouTube and stuff. They're interviews with Gabe Kidd. There's one with Kenny Omega. There's one with Yota Tsuji that's just dropped recently. They're really, really good. So Gabe Kidd has been talking about Kenny Omega, and whilst people kind of ignore what Gabe Kidd says because a lot of it is just sort of bluster and swearing, there were a lot of really hard truths in there about the nature of the relationship with AEW, and he used the phrase like New Japan are having their pants pulled down in this relationship, which made me think, has someone been listening? Probably, but probably not for the reasons that you might think.
But, it's got evidence, I believe, in some court cases.
So that was very good, and I just think when he sort of toned it down a bit, and it was sort of the cold, menacing Gabe Kidd rather than the fuck you,
the drunk pussy soccer hooligan.
When he's sort of the quiet, calculated Gabe Kidd is a lot more frightening than shouty, sweary Gabe Kidd. So that was very good. And then Kenny Omega just being a complete smug shithead in his promo. And I was just watching that thinking, you pricks. Like it's just really good stuff. So I'm really enjoying the dynamic between them. And Yota Tsuji continuing to call out Kazuchika Okada and insult him for the way he left the company and for selling out and for being shit in AEW. So there's some really good stuff out there, which is... Well, I say that about the Tsuji thing. He also cut a long promo about how his wrestling philosophy dovetails with his love of pudding, which didn't land quite so well with me. I think if I were him, I'd be dropping the pudding analogies, but there you go. You can't have everything.
I think Kenny Omega is in a really fantastic spot in the sense of if anybody knows what buttons to push for an English-speaking audience, if he needs to be a heel, I'm sure he's got plenty up his sleeves to rile up New Japan faithful. Right
on that point, I know we're not sort of previewing Wrestle Kingdom now, but what do you think the dynamics will be in that match? Like, who's going to be the babyface, who's going to be the heel, or do you think they're going to kind of figure it out on the night?
Yeah, I mean, I would think just going into it. Well, here's the thing: like, both of them technically, we'll say in air quotes, act like heels, right? And none of them, I would say, are your traditional baby face going into this match. Yet, I mean, you've heard it throughout the entire year for Gabe Kidd. People want to cheer him, and it really depends on.
Oh, there's a great line here, David. Sorry to interrupt, but I just went back to the Kenny Omega video where he said, let's see that spirit that you like to talk about so much because I just don't see it in you. I've given you an opportunity on a platter, but if you can't handle the pressure, I'm sure there's room back on the psych ward.
Oh, wowee.
And then there's a shit-eating grin on his face. Like, this is so good, man. New Japan, Kenny Omega just hits different, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, again, he knows what buttons to push, and he knows, if he's to answer your question, I think they'd be very smart to figure that out in the ring and let the people decide which way you want to go. Both of them are smart workers. I'm not saying we're talking fucking Dory Funk, Jack Briscoe, let's call it in the ring, brother. But I mean, if they're smart, I think there's an element to that can work for both, right? I think technically, if you put the Super JKS branded gun to my head, I'm saying Gabe is your baby face, for lack of a better term, and Kenny's your heel. But we know the crowd loves Kenny, and we know the crowd, want to cheer for Gabe. So I think that's a pretty interesting dynamic, to be honest.
Do you think they're going to be going for the old, was it Wrestle Kingdom 13, Bret Hart, Stone Cold?
Little Turner-Roo in the ring, maybe. I mean, what better way to do it, right? I mean, what better opponents? What better platform? Look, Gabe's got this Wrestle Kingdom, man, and Wrestle Kingdom weekend, I should say, or week, double night, double show, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I think there's a lot of guys with some pretty significant, let's plant a flag in this moment kind of moments on the show. They all of them have an opportunity to shine. Like every single one of the guys that we have been on a mountaintop screaming of, okay, this is our future. These are our guys. A lot of them have unbelievable opportunities. And, some of it is, do they have a partner that's willing to dance with them? And, look, ideally, it would be lovely to have Gabe Kidd get a fucking big win. Is Kenny willing to do that? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I don't even know if there would be any pushback from Tony, right, at this point. Do you think Tony Khan would give a fuck if Kenny Omega did a job to Gabe Kidd?
Honestly, I'm not really that interested in who wins that match. I think the more interesting thing coming out is how Gabe Kidd comes across. Like, where do we leave Gabe Kidd after that match?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And I think a lot of, I would say the majority of the guys that we talk about, that's the feeling I'd want to have a win, though. I mean, when the kids are looking back through the record books and being like, I remember that show from 10 years ago, and Gabe Kidd won that match. And if he won it in a spectacular fashion, that's something. I think that's something. I don't think you can hand wave it, but yeah, it's an interesting spot to be in. A lot of these guys. But to answer the question, I'll say Gabe Kidd's working the face as much as Gabe Kidd could possibly do that. But yeah, I think calling it in the ring when it comes to that is probably the wisest decision, because truth be told, I don't know who's rooting for who. And it might be 50-50. Who fucking knows? But I don't know. It's a big spotlight, so I'm excited.
Right, last thing I think we need to talk about is the Concurso, the bodybuilding contest.
Oh, Lordy Lou.
So I've sent you the link to that. We can have a look.
Is Taguchi naked? Do we have
I've not looked at that far. I think Taguchi's not in it. I think he said he had
his asshole was hurting.
Oh, what did he say? Yeah, he had some. I don't know if he was just doing ha-has. Yeah. Oh fuck, who was talking about it? It's either on the Slack or the Discord. I'm going to have a look for that.
Well, I'm going to comment on this article that you sent from medium.com, that is, news.newjapan.
Oh, gout. He said it was gout. Sorry, he had a gout flare-up. So I don't know if he's joking about that. But it sounds like the sort of wacky thing that he would say.
I had gout before. I did. It's an old man.
All right, let's go through these guys then. Right, how are we thinking Tanahashi?
All right, I got to go through. I got to click on the link. How come I can't do it? It's trying to make me sign in. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Tanahashi looks like $1 million. Thick. Look at the back.
The way he sort of vacillates from looking fat to looking like a bodybuilder, it's just quite uncanny. And I'm still not sure looking at this. I'm confused.
Look at the back.
I'm not sure.
Look at the back. You went it on the back alone.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, you're right, though.
Honma, our friend Jay Michael had a hilarious bit that he likes to do about so in like feudal Japan, when like a samurai was disgraced, they'd have to commit seppuku and like slice their stomach open, and then you'd have their second, I don't know what the Japanese term is, but they're the guy who'd be standing behind them with a sword ready to chop their head off to sort of end their suffering after they've made the incision. And he had this big bit about Honma trying to do it, but his skin is so tough and leathery that he can't actually like slice through his skin, and the blades are snapping, and they're sort of trying to saw through his tough leathery skin, because it's like the state of this man. He just looks like an old leather sofa.
He really does. Honestly, I think NFL footballs are made just from scraping his back, like the dead skin, and they just collect it in a ball and heat press it, and now we have a football. It does look like a pleather couch, his skin. But
what is wrong with Watto? What he looks. You look.
I'm looking right now.
You see Watto here?
He
looks like a woman who's just sort of gone through a 24-hour labor. He looks his face, like body great, but the face looks very, very tired and old and puffy. Yeah, he looks like he needs to get some rest.
And let's be honest here. Again, this is me talking the pillar of fitness. He does not look well defined. Number one, he's got tits. Just let's be very clear. Right? Make no bones about it. Those are tits.
That's going to be the next Patreon special. Body shaming.
Body shaming by Damon. Yeah. Yeah. And he's got a weird 6-pack too, doesn't he? But it's not really a 6-pack. He's got like one long muscle and then like two other ones, and that's it. I don't know how that happened, but he has legitimate titties. All right. Oh boy, El Desperado does not.
Despy wins. Like, I'm definitely voting for Despy.
Despy has on, dare I say, like almost like a swimmer's, think of a female swimmer, like a breaststroke swimmer, but it's a U.S. flag, right? Which is riding up his ass. It's flossing his anus right now. The back shot. It looks incredibly.
But it's the final pose, like the bottom pose, the little kind of flourish, one hand on the hip and one hand sort of elegantly, almost like a ballerina.
He's tucking, isn't he? Tell me he's tucking. Like there's no impression of his dick. Right?
I'm zooming in.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's literally stomach and then there's no dick impression. He's
like
tucking. He's tucking right now. He's doing Silence of the Lambs, tucking, walking around like he has a vagina. Wow.
I'd fuck me. Despy would fuck Despy.
I would fuck you. Oh, Kojima. I mean, look. I think Kojima looks pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just not changed at all, has he? He's not aged a day in the last decade.
Looking good there, buddy. All right. Good old Bolton Oleg Bolton Oleg. He has that
Greek god.
Yeah, he's got that, like, you know, if you bought wrestling magazines in the 40s, every guy would look like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this is like,
and he's not tucking. I'm zooming in.
No, he's not.
No tucking going on there.
He's definitely peeking out there. He's excited.
Just scroll down to Show Makato.
Let me see.
The third picture.
Right, down here. Oh, yeah. He's got. They did a side shot of his ass, like he's showing off his, like he's in the gym. He's one of these clowns that lies down on his stomach at the gym, and somebody rolls the barbell to see if he has one of those plumper asses, you know, one of those meaty things. Oh my god, do you see his calves though? Ooh.
Wait, you do one of the, you know, the TikTok memes where someone's trying to sort of squeeze through railings, but they can't because they're sticking their bum out.
Right, because they got a booty. Yeah, he's not winning any fucking contest, but I will say those calves are they look like fucking drumsticks. You know what I mean? Looks like a fucking...
Very good definition on this.
Oh, my Lord. And I gotta be honest with looking at that makes my leg want to cramp. Like, it just makes... I could just... Oh, that just feels...
It's like a cartoon drumstick, isn't it? Like, sort of like you'd have a dog sort of slavering after that one.
Right. Exactly what it is. All right, let's see what we got next. Morishima. Yep, he's thick.
I like him. He's a little chunky boy.
Yeah. What's on his arm? What's going on there? Looks like he's got like just.
I think it's a birthmark. Yeah, he's always had that.
Yeah, I didn't see the shadows. I thought it was bruising.
Daiki Nagai.
Yeah. Whoa.
Look at him. Look at a little fucking beefcake.
Yeah, that dude is fucking chiseled. He's doing that bodybuilder pose where you put your hands behind your head. You put your hands up on your hip. And like he's
going to be a star.
Yeah, one leg sticking out, so he's got the leg popping. Yeah, he's ripped. He, dare I say, chiseled. Yeah, he's doing okay. Look at Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight looks like he should be fucking starring in Blacked. He's like,
that expression on his face in the fourth photo.
Oh,
where he's just like,
Lord.
Yeah, I am him.
Yes, that guy's ready to get those two young girls. Wow, I've seen movies start like this. Yeah, he's ripped. Why don't you just have everything, Kevin Knight? Jesus Christ. Jeez, is there anything you don't have? All right, Doki. All right. This looks photoshopped. I'm not going to lie. Ooh, his back is fucked. What's going on with his back?
Yeah, he looks like one of the hollows from Dark Souls. He's kind of sort of borderline sort of zombie.
His fucking spine.
Incredible shape.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, yes, there's muscles, but they don't seem like they're in the right spot. You know what I mean? Like
they tried to escape.
Right? Like they're just moving somewhere. Like, look at his spine. Like it's very. Who has a defined spine?
I like the fourth photo. It's like with the sort of character poses from Mortal Kombat 3, where like the versus screen, where it's like
the look in, yeah, the side look. He's got arms, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right, look at the first picture.
Yeah.
Do you see the face in his chest? It's like a little face. Like,
yes.
it looks like what's that character?
It's got gills.
right. It looks like what's that character? That Groot character in
yes.
It looks like his face.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it looks like the Groot face on his stomach. It's really fucking creeping me out. All right, is that it? No, we got Clark Connors entering in with his cowboy hat on. Yeah. All right, look, that back is fucked up. Wow, that's not fucked up in a good way. Like he worked that back. Oh, that one shot where he should be posing in like Playgirl, where
just like pulling down the waistband of the other
for his little V shape in his pubis area. Yeah, yeah. The gay community is just fucking going crazy on that one. I bet that one. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. This is grinder material right there, no doubt.
There's sort of big Chippendale energy from the pair of them, both him and Driller.
Yeah. More. I gotta be honest with you. More Clark. Clark is.
It's the hat as well, the cowboy aesthetic.
I guarantee you, if you go on Grindr right now, there are probably over 1,000 people using one of these 4 pictures as their profile picture. I guarantee it. Like if you're catfishing on Grindr, these are the pictures that you're fucking using. Wow. I'll tell you what, Drilla Maloney. The third shot, the one
where that shot where he's like pistoning his thick cock.
Wow. Yeah,
he's got his hand right in front of his crotch
his unit, as in a position where it would be if you were to superimpose a cock in there via Photoshop, it's perfectly.
And his arm does look like an erection as well.
Yeah, it does, veiny and viscous,
bulging veins, just throbbing,
meaty,
engorged,
thick and full of blood, just aching to be released.
Turgid pulsating.
We are fucking 12. We're the worst podcast ever. $10 Patreon.
Put this behind the paywall. This is good.
Yeah. This is a highlight, I think, for people though when we do this, and it's every year. Jacob Austin Young with.
So you're not to know this, Damon, but I'm dragging my feet on ending this because my sister's still not put her boys to bed.
Fuck that. Yeah,
and I'm just hiding in it. I don't want to fuck off. Put your kids to bed. Jesus Christ! I've put my children to sleep. Come on.
Can I ask a question? Do you like them? Enough said.
It's complicated. One of them, the younger one, and I'm not saying this as a diss. He's been diagnosed with autism. Lovely kid. Like he's really sweet. The older one just winds him up the whole time, like deliberately pisses him off and upsets him, and that breaks my heart.
How old are they?
Youngest is 5, oldest is 8 or 8. Okay.
I mean, they're young. Yep, I hear.
And also, it's 10:15.
Like, come on,
put them to bed. I want to swear and
I want to relax,
talk shit about people. Right. Yeah,
Robbie Eagles. Look at Big Rob.
I didn't say about Jacob. I think Jacob looks good. He's got sort of wholesome boy next door energy, hasn't he?
Yeah, this is the guy. This is the hot guy who works at like the bar, or the guy who's going to try and like.
He works at Starbucks. He's J Cafe, tapping into the gimmick.
No doubt. And he, he's the guy that you go to the fucking place and it's like the new hot burger bar. He's the guy that's going to be fucking behind. Let me recommend the lamb burger. It's really great. He's going to be that guy.
The halloumi fries, amazing.
Yeah, we ship in our Parmesan cheese from Italy. And shut up. Robbie Eagles.
Robbie, wow, he has put some work in. Hasn't he
has. My goodness gracious.
He doesn't usually look like that, and you can tell he's been building up to this.
Yeah. Can we talk about his tattoos?
Yeah.
Not the best. Let me just say. No, that's fine. I don't know what it is. Is that a cat on his bicep there?
I don't know which picture.
The second one, I guess.
Third one.
Yeah, the back shot.
One.
It looks like Felix the cat. Is that a cat?
I don't know. I'm always reluctant to.
Yeah, they might have personal things. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes. Correct. Right. I mean, trust me.
Robbie, send us close-up photos.
Yeah, tell me.
And we'll do a Patreon episode where we'll get you on the show and we'll do a deep dive on all of your tattoos.
Yes, I think that'd be fun, actually. I would even do that. Yeah, get a hold of us, Robbie. And then, is that a lucha mask I see right there? Yeah. He looks good. Doesn't he look fantastic. Young? He looks very young.
He looks like you could literally grate cheese on his abs.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's got muscles on top of his muscles, it looks like, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, that's a lot of work right there. Oh, we have a. Is this the first one? Is this the first female entry?
Yeah, I can't remember any others.
Wow.
Damon, it's very hot in here.
You're right. You're getting engaged.
That second picture. Oh my good God.
Yeah.
I think I'm realizing a kink that I never knew I had.
You like that? Okay. Can I introduce you to a young lady named China? Yeah, she's fucking stacked. Like, I mean, here's the thing too. Like, even if you're not a guy that's like, okay, I can't get into all the muscles, right? Okay, but this is we're building her up to take some pictures for a fucking photo shoot, talking about fitness and bodybuilding and all that. Wow, I mean, that is symmetry. Look at that. That's all right. All right, good job by her. Dragon Kid, look at this. Dragon Kid looks. He looks like he's like a guy who he's the guy that you hate playing against. Like if you have like a beer league, football league or something like that. Like he's the best player on the team, right? Like he's the guy that's going to score like 4 goals and make everyone look like dog shit.
How old is he?
He does look older, doesn't he?
50.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm going to check how old he is.
That's exactly where I was going. It
48.
Well, how old?
He's 48.
Shut up. Is he really?
Yeah.
You know what? Not for nothing. He looks great. For 48, again, he looks like
That's incredible.
Again, he looks like the early 30s. You know, he played some collegiate sports, and now he's in the fucking beer league, and he's the best player on the fucking field. That's just a good field. Who's winning? Who's your pick?
Oof. Okay, I'll give you a top 3. I'm going to go Daiki Nagai in 3rd place. I'm going Kevin Knight in 2nd place.
Kevin Knight is truly shredded.
Oh no, I can't really leave out Robbie Eagles because he does look great. And number 1 is Driller. Because that's just obscene.
Just the homoerotic pictures are so on point. Yeah, I'm going Clark.
There's a Street Fighter animated movie I used to watch, Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, I think it's called. And just the way that all the characters were drawn, like just huge hulking mountains of muscle in a way that is like physically impossible. Like there's no way someone like that could actually exist. That's what Driller Maloney looks like.
That one shot of him. Again, the 2nd and 3rd are just like, come on, are you kidding me? I cannot get over Clark Connors. It's just, it's. I can't get over it. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go Drilla. I'm going to go Clark 2nd. Kevin Knight's your winner. Kevin Knight. And here's the thing too. I knew he was built, but like, and again, we're doing a photo shoot, bodybuilding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's fucking just and it's proportional and nothing looks weird. Like, yeah, he's doing all right for himself. Who's last place? Who is not winning this? Despy. Despi's not winning. He's not winning anything.
He should definitely win. Look at that outfit.
Really?
It's incredible.
First of all, he's desecrating the great country of mine's flag. with riding in his
You,
ass.
you Yankoid imbeciles are the same, aren't you? You and your fucking flag.
That's right. We love our flags. We love flags. Love to fly our flag high like an eagle. Yeah, this is. Yeah, no. I'm gonna and Watto looks like he
Unwell.
He looked unwell. He looks like he probably drank a lot the night before, and it was at least like 15 minutes late for this photo shoot, and they rushed him, and they're like, "All right, quickly, just pump up and fucking get in front of the camera." He does not look happy to be there, and he looks troubled, and all of that was for naught because he ain't winning dick. Honorary mention I'll give to Honma for looking like a warm leatherette, and and even Hiroshi Tanahashi for again finding a way to be fat and muscular and beefy at the same time. It's unbelievable. Good job by him. He has hope. He gives us hope. He gives everybody hope. All right, there you go.
That'll do.
That'll do. You good?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Go back to my cheese.
Enjoy your cheese and wine. Later.
Hey now, it's Mike Gilbert, host of the Mike and JD Show, right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Join JD by God Oliva and myself every Thursday night live on the Voices of Wrestling YouTube channel at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we stay up all night discussing all the hottest stories in professional wrestling. You can also check us out right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting feed, or you can subscribe to the Mike and JD Show feed. Now, enjoy the show.